And hello, Facebook family. Tony T-Bop here. Tony T-Garden. Just T-Bopping out here on Laguna Beach. I'm actually here at Montage Beach. And I'm going to give you a couple of moments here for some cool people to join us. Sherry, speaking of cool people, welcome. Glad you're here. Give it just a moment. Kind of take in some of these sights here, as you can see. Kind of a cool spot. I like to come here and do my Facebook Lives sometimes. I've done a few here this past summer that were a lot of fun. And today, talking about seeing outside of your situation. Actually, I just had somebody message me on Instagram. And if you haven't been over to my Instagram, you probably see all these really cool pictures that I'm posting. At least I think they're kind of cool. They're fun to do. You'll probably see... if you check out over at Tony T Garden, it's actually Instagram.com/Tony T Garden. And I do some fun stuff over there. Alex Jeffries. Well, hello, man. I think you're in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, or at least somewhere there close. I'm in Laguna Beach, man. Good to see you. Just had somebody message me over on Instagram, kind of prompted me to want to do this Facebook Live, just off the cuff, as I sometimes like to do. And he asked me, he was like, if you don't mind, how long have you lived out there in Laguna Beach? And how in the world, oh, thank you, Oliver, right? Glad you're here, buddy. Pretty cool. Yeah, this view does the soul some good. Take a look here. I'm telling you. It is rejuvenating in many ways. I easily could have sat inside today, done some work, and I was like, you know what, I did my work, and I said, I'm getting outside. And then, so as I was saying, what prompted me to want to share this Facebook Live today, this thought, I think it might be beneficial to you if you are in a spot where maybe there's transition going on in your life, maybe there's turmoil going in your life, maybe there's transformation going on in your life, whatever the T might be, right? Because this gentleman, he asked me, he said, how long have you been out in Laguna Beach? And, how did you go about, getting out there? He's like, the reason I ask is I'd really love to live someplace like that, but I have a lot of stress and obstacles in my way. And I thought about it for a moment before I responded. Not too terribly long, because it came pretty intuitively. And I just mentioned that, you have to see outside of your situation. Holy cow, Ezra Firestone. I am flattered, my friend, to see you swing by. Stop by, my little part of the Facebook interwebs. Good to see you. Ecom King. So, fairly simple. When he asked me this question and I mentioned, I was like, brother, you just have to see outside of your situation. And another way of really framing this is just gaining some altitude over your situation and observing what's going on. And as my mentor, Travis Sago, has mentioned to me many times, that a lot of times just happen to assign way too much meaning and way too much thought around your situation and around the things that are happening outside of you. And so one thing that I've discovered is those stresses are no more than thought. And that generally, if you want to create something new in your life, get resourceful and you'll find the resources, right? And kind of happened why I'm here in Laguna Beach. Matter of fact, my good friend Katarina Satori is the main reason I am here. I say main reason only because she was a resource that made itself available that somehow or another, just based on my work. Marcus Ogden, my man, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. The speaking king right here, let me tell you. If y'all aren't following Marcus or Ezra or Oliver, Oliver's like an amazing copywriter, really cool guy. Ezra, he's the ecom king. And Marcus Ogden, he is the speaking power. And you would be wise to follow and connect with any of these gentlemen. So if you get resourceful, you'll find the resources. And this was something that, again, I learned from Travis here this past year that's been just immensely powerful in my life. And so many folks that I come into contact go, man, you're lucky. You know, you just have the right tools. You have, everything's perfect. And I'm like, nothing could be farther from the truth. Matter of fact, you know, it's the more that I get out of my way, the more resourceful I become, and the more resources that happen to come into my path. And so I get an option of choosing, you know, whether or not to access those resources. And resources can be all kinds of things. You know, like with me, what I do is, one of the things that I do is I help online entrepreneurs that have high-end education programs, we'll call them. I help them to sell those educational programs via straight email, and have gotten somewhat decent at it, I would say. And so one of the interesting things there is that, you know, I can develop a pretty substantial income, but it's not my email list. A lot of people in the online space go, yeah, you got to have an email list. And that's true. If you're building your own brand, you're doing all those sort of things. I have an email list. But the key is that it's not my email, right? It's not my email list. Matter of fact, it's not even my clients that we're selling to, and I don't have to service them. There's a whole lot of other really cool benefits there, right? The key is that, you know, I was able to get resourceful and access other people's resources. And so it's the same kind of feedback that I gave this young gentleman on Instagram. Again, if you haven't checked out my Instagram, you can go over to Instagram.com/Tony Teagarden. I do absolutely zero marketing kind of stuff over there. It's all just my passion and hobby of taking cool pictures in the place I live and the places that I visit. And again, you know, all of this is available to me because I became resourceful at one point. And, you know, I trusted in many ways, made the move from Tampa here to Laguna Beach. It'll be a year ago matter of fact, it's already been a year. I left, matter of fact. I was on my way across country this time of year. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a special Facebook Live to commemorate. Matter of fact, it'll be the 7th, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's like tomorrow, I think. The day that I actually arrived here in Laguna Beach from Tampa. I drove cross country and, you know, literally leaned into a new leadership role in my life. And, you know, so grateful to be here today, to be here in this beautiful place, to have an opportunity to share some of this with you today. So anyway, that was really my moment to share with you here today, that gain altitude over your situation, you know, see outside of yourself, because I found, you know, just speaking with some friends and some clients and some people, some real high level entrepreneurs even that I've been working with on a intimate basis lately, that it can be sometimes, you know, you get caught in the fear trap. I think really fear is a lot of bullshit, even though it's something that I'm really good at constructing myself, right? So I'm not judging it, but the fear is just the focus on our own selves, and rather than focusing on service of the people we want to serve. And I found that the more that I get really, really clear on serving and supporting, you know, my ideal people, that the less I have to focus on the fear of what I might not be able to do, see, or become. So the beauty of it is that the more you gain altitude over your situation, the more you gain that altitude and begin to focus on the situation outside of yourself, and particularly the situations or problems that you want to solve for the people that you want to serve, man, it just really, really makes things a lot more simple. And you can come from a much higher place where you're not trapped by the fear. So see outside your situation, gain some altitude, and, you know, see what kind of problems you can solve outside of yourself for other people that you can serve. So pretty much all I do, right? Sometimes right now that's doing it in marketing. Sometimes that's working with people on a really deep level to help to eliminate the constraints that have accrued and that are keeping them from cashing in, right, on their gifts. So with that, I hope you are having a phenomenal week. I'm going to get back to some of this beautiful Laguna Beachness. And with that, I will see you tomorrow, because I'm going to do a special Facebook Live commemorating my 1 year just arriving here in Laguna Beach. I'm going to sit down and actually I'm going to gain some altitude. I'm going to do exactly what I just shared. Gain some altitude, see outside of myself, and see exactly what has evolved as a decision of changing my location and my vocation in a sense. So with that, hope you're having a great week. See you tomorrow.